Doctor, thanks as always. What's your takeaway from the study we just got out of South Africa?
Well, look, there's actually two studies out tonight. There's one from the Karolinska Institute as well that's similar to the study out of South Africa. What these studies are is they look at the plasma from individuals who've been vaccinated or who have recovered from infection and then been vaccinated, and they see whether or not their plasma can neutralize the virus. So they're a correlate, an imperfect correlate, for the immune protection that the vaccine could provide from infection. But we don't really get insight from these kinds of studies into how well the vaccines are going to perform against symptomatic infection and also severe disease. So they're a very imperfect, imprecise measure. What they show, which is actually quite reassuring, is that people who got infected and then vaccinated had pretty robust protection in these studies. There was pretty good neutralization of the plasma of individuals who were infected and then subsequently vaccinated. And why that's encouraging is that we believe that 3 doses of the vaccine, so a properly boosted vaccine, effectively simulates the response you get from infection and then subsequent vaccination with 2 doses. So the 3rd dose of the vaccine functions like getting infected. So this is an indication that a properly boosted vaccine may retain meaningful protection against this virus.
You know, Doctor, before Omicron came into the picture, you said you thought maybe by next year we'd be in a more endemic phase. Has this changed your outlook at all?
I think it extends the timeline when we may get there. I still think that this is going to be a transition year, now our 3rd year of this pandemic, when we go from a pandemic into a more endemic phase. Now, the previous thinking, mine and others, was that Delta would be the dominant variant. Once this Delta wave had coursed its way through the U.S. population, people would have immunity from infection and immunity from vaccine, and there would be enough population-wide immunity that this would stop transferring at the rate that we've seen, and future mutations would be within that Delta lineage. This is divergent evolution, this Omicron variant. It's sort of diverged from the strains that gave rise to Delta, and so it could continue to spread even after the population has a lot of immunity from infection from Delta. Now, hopefully 3 doses of the vaccine will be protective, and Delta infection will offer a meaningful degree of protection against symptomatic disease and severe outcomes. And that may be what we're seeing in South Africa. The reason why you're seeing less severe disease, fewer hospitalizations relative to cases, is that many people in South Africa had infection with Delta. So when they're getting reinfected with this variant, maybe their Delta immunity isn't protective against infection, but is protecting them against symptomatic disease and certainly severe outcomes. And that may be what we're seeing.
Let's hope. Dr. Gottlieb, thank you.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.